Jordan Peterson will leave you speechless. One of the most eye-opening interviews ever. Jordan Peterson, the famous professor of psychology who sadly passed away last year, but we still have his wisdom today. He was interviewed by a renowned talk show host, and in this interview, he explains one of the most important reasons to quit drinking too much alcohol. This is so true, and most people don't realize it until it's too late. The advice that he gave during this interview can change your life forever. So make sure to watch this video till the end to find out what he said. Jordan Peterson has written several books about mental health and psychology and also became popular for his lectures on YouTube. His fans love him because he always tells the truth. He doesn't care if it might get him cancelled or not. That's why millions of people around the world love him. In this video, we will discuss one of his most popular interviews where he speaks about why you should never drink too much alcohol. Before we start, we would like to ask you to support our work with a thumbs up. And here is a little disclaimer. This video is inspired by Jordan Peterson's work, and we are just sharing his wisdom with the world. Without further ado, let's begin. Why do you think there's so many alcoholics? Why do you think there's so many dysfunctional families? Because the parents drank too much, and then they beat the hell out of each other. Peterson opens up the interview by discussing how alcohol affects our lives and how it can destroy everything we have built. Many people drink to forget their problems, but it only makes things worse. As the saying goes, drink to forget. But forgetting comes at a cost. You lose your memories, your dignity, your loved ones, and yourself. He continues by explaining that when we drink, we become more impulsive and less able to control our emotions. Alcohol affects our judgment and decision-making abilities, which is why so many accidents and crimes happen when people are drunk. When we're sober, we can think clearly and make rational decisions. We're able to assess risks and benefits and make the best choice for ourselves. However, when we drink too much, our ability to think clearly and make good decisions becomes impaired. We may say or do things that we regret later and put ourselves in danger or the danger of others. Jordan Peterson believes that the main reason why people drink too much is to escape from reality. When we're drunk, we're not in control of our lives. We're at the mercy of our impulses and emotions. Alcohol allows us to let loose and be our true selves without any consequences. However, this is not true freedom, it's actually a form of slavery. We're enslaved by our addictions, and we're unable to live the life that we want to live. When we're drunk, we don't have to face our problems. We can hide from them and pretend that they don't exist. However, this only makes the problems worse, and eventually they come back to haunt us. Sober, we can deal with our problems and find solutions. We can be proactive and create the life that we want to live. Another reason why people drink too much is because they're trying to be like the people they see on TV. On TV, everyone is rich, successful, and happy. We think that if we had all those things, then we would be happy too. However, this is not true. We need to find happiness within ourselves. We need to find our own success and build our own lives. When we try to copy what we see on TV, we're just setting ourselves up for disappointment. We're chasing after a mirage. Alcohol allows us to escape from the pain and suffering of life. When we're drunk, we can forget our problems and just have fun. However, this is only a temporary solution. Eventually, the pain and suffering come back, and we're left with even more problems than before. Another reason why people drink too much is because they think it will help them relax and calm down. When we're anxious or stressed out, we think that alcohol will help us relax. However, this is not true. Alcohol can make anxiety and stress much worse. When we're drunk, we're not in control of ourselves. We're at the mercy of our emotions, and we can say or do things that we regret later. When we're trying to relax, we need to find ways to calm down and focus on the present moment. We can practice deep breathing exercises, go for a walk in nature, or listen to some calming music. There are many things that we can do to relax without resorting to alcohol. The next reason why people drink too much is because they're trying to fit in. They think that if they drink too much, then they will be accepted by the people around them. However, this is not true. The people who really accept us will accept us for who we are, not for what we drink. We shouldn't drink too much just because we think it will make us look cool. We should be ourselves and find our own place in the world. We shouldn't try to fit in. We should stand out. Another reason why people drink too much is because they're trying to impress someone. They think that if they drink too much, then they will impress the person they're interested in. However, this is not true. The person we're trying to impress will see through our drunken facade, and we'll just end up looking like a fool. When we're drunk, we don't have the ability to connect with other people on a deep level. We're not able to have meaningful conversations, and we don't remember what we said or did. Instead, we end up embarrassing ourselves and making a fool of ourselves. If we want to impress someone, we should show them our intelligence, our sense of humor, and our kindness. We should be ourselves and let our true personalities shine through. Another reason why people drink too much is because they're trying to solve their problems. They think that if they drink enough, then their problems will go away. However, this is not true. Alcohol does not solve problems. It only makes them worse. When we're drunk, we're not able to think clearly and make rational decisions. We're more likely to say or do things that make our problems worse. Instead of solving our problems, we just end up creating more of them. If we have a problem, we should face it head on. We should think about the problem and come up with a solution. We shouldn't try to escape from our problems, because that will only make them worse. Another reason why people drink too much is because they're trying to feel something. They think that if they drink enough, then they will feel something. However, this is not true. Alcohol does not make us feel good. It only makes us feel worse. When we're drunk, we're not able to experience the world around us. We're not able to appreciate the beauty of life, and we're not able to connect with other people. Instead, we end up feeling numb and disconnected from everything around us. If we want to feel something, we should find ways to connect with ourselves and the world around us. We should practice mindfulness, spend time in nature, and connect with other people. Finally, Jordan Peterson states that people drink too much because they want to die. They think that if they drink enough, then they will die. However, this is not true. Alcohol does not kill us. It only makes us feel like we want to die. When we're drunk, we're not able to take care of ourselves. We're not able to function, and we're not able to make decisions that keep us alive. We may engage in risky behaviors that could end our lives, such as driving drunk or taking drugs. If we want to live our lives to the fullest, we need to take care of ourselves. We need to eat healthy, exercise, and get enough sleep. We also need to find meaning and purpose in our lives. If we have something that we're working towards, something that gives us hope for the future, then we're less likely to want to die. It takes a lot of courage to admit that you have a problem with alcohol. It takes even more courage to seek help, but the rewards of sobriety are worth it. When you're sober, you're able to live the life that you want to live. You're able to control your impulses and emotions. You're able to think clearly and make good decisions. You're able to relax without using alcohol. You're able to connect with other people on a deep level. You're able to solve your problems instead of running away from them. You're able to feel something instead of being numb. And you're able to live your life to the fullest instead of wanting to die. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. Don't forget to share it with your friends and family. And please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already.